We're back over at our Beacon Hill renovation. Last time we were here, we brought in all of the cabinetry as well as our tools. Now that all that is in, we are ready to get started on installing the actual cabinets. The first step here is to set our control point. What that's going to be is the height the top of our countertops is going to be. I know from site measuring a few months back that our countertop height is going to be dictated by this column here. This column is going to be a feature in the kitchen, and our countertop does actually wrap around this column. So I need to make sure that our countertop height is going to fall in between these two rivets. Typically we're targeting for a 36-inch finished height, but in this case, unfortunately, that falls right on top of one of the rivets. So instead of dropping our counter height down where it would be too low to work at, we're going to raise it up a little bit, about 1 inch, so that our finished height is at 37 inches. This gives us a little bit of play between the countertop and the top of the rivet. The floors in this unit slope quite a bit, so we won't be 37 inches finished height throughout the kitchen. It will go closer to that 36 inches in certain points. To carry this line across, we're going to shoot a laser at our target height across the entire unit here. Once we have our heights set, we can then go back and measure down to the top of where our ledger is going to be. The way we install our cabinetry, the back of the cabinet sits on a 2x3 ledger that is fastened to the wall. The front side has adjustable feet so that we can make any micro adjustments needed. So now we're going to turn on the laser, set our control point. From there, we can start marking out our stud locations. Can you?
Yeah, I have this.
Where are you going to put it? What's your plan here? Why don't we put it right there? So with our finished height set, I'm going to measure down the thickness of the countertop as well as the size of our cabinets without the toe kick. That's going to be 32 inches. So I'll make my mark and then shoot the laser again so we can set our ledgers. A little more. A hair more. Right there. So we went ahead and marked out where all of our stud locations are. We actually put blocking in the walls so that we have some solid blocking everywhere our cabinetry is going to go. So we have a piece down low to catch the bottom of our base cabinets, and then about around here where the top of our base cabinets are going to be, then going up to the bottom of the upper cabinets as well as the top of the upper cabinets. So we have full coverage just about everywhere that our cabinetry is going to go, so we can get them fully secured to the wall. Now we can go ahead and cut all of our 2x4 ledgers for in between all these different walls. We do need to account for things like the dishwasher or the refrigerator, since our ledger can't run past them.
Oh, big old swing and a miss there, kids. Just go ahead, not easy. Slide. Perfect. Push back. Drop.
Worst case, we have to go and pick it up. James has made a lot of progress on the kitchen. He's gotten all of the lowers set, all of the uppers set, most of the doors in place and hung. He's currently working on the island. Once he gets these island cabinets set into place, we'll move on to bringing in the appliances and adding the panels to those appliances. One unique thing about this kitchen is they actually don't have any full-size refrigerators in here. They're actually using under-the-counter appliances. They're gonna have both an under-counter freezer and a refrigerator. Not your typical application, but it's what they wanted, so it's what we'll give them. With the refrigeration area, it is a pretty wide span to just have the stone be fairly unsupported in this middle. So we do have a divider between the refrigerator and the freezer. You can see the space between the upper cabinets and the lower supports. That's so that when we get our stone, we can slide the stone right in and under, and the whole bottom of this cabinet becomes countertop. That way it's usable space for things like a blender or a toaster, whatever the homeowner might need inside there. These doors are actually on a bifold hinge, so that means when they open the door, both doors will fold over and tuck up against this wall, giving them extra space to utilize this entire area. Because the sides of our cabinets are going to be sitting on the countertop, and not just here, but in several other places, we go ahead and completely edge band and seal these bottom edges so that any moisture or spills that might happen on the countertop don't soak up into the open end grain of our plywood, compromising the structure. With the frame for our island in place, it's now time to set the cabinets. James, can you walk us through what you're going to be doing here?
All right.
I'll put my hands in my pockets while you do all the work.
You grab a side of this and, you know, be helpful. So we're gonna slide this cabinet underneath. This piece here is just to hold the actual frame square until we get the cases in. We're gonna be setting this cabinet 1 1/8 inch back off of the frame here because our doors are 1 inch and our bumpers are 1/8.
So I understand the spacing here.
Right.
Why do we have such a big space here in the back?
They're actually getting a washer dryer unit that's gonna go here. And it's just a little bit deeper with the fittings on the backside, which requires us to have a little bit more space behind the cabinets to actually clear that and make the connections. We had stone templated the other day, and the stone's gonna be slipped in from this side. And so it's gonna land above this collar and scribe to all these points.
So we're just gonna take a giant slab of stone, cut out for around here, and then slide that stone in the back, making sure that everything's scribed around there.
That's the theory.
So James, I can see that none of the adjustable shelves are in, but there's 2 shelves in these 2 cabinets. What are those all about?
So those 2 shelves are there to basically hold the sides of the cabinets from flaring out in the case that, you know, it ever got hit or bumped. It's just there to basically keep it tight together and make sure that all of our reveals stay equal and doesn't move over time.
So these 2 have the shelves, but this cabinet over here is very similar, where it sits on the counter, it's wide open, it's much larger, but there's no shelf in here. Why is that?
So this cabinet actually poses a challenge in that there's a wall-mounted toilet behind here, so we can't just screw this cabinet in anywhere. As you can see right now, it's actually not screwed to this wall. It does need to be screwed in because it is going to support that bifold door that Ken was talking about.
Now, is this filler removable?
It is, actually. It's lamelloed and dominoed on. And so if you wanted, you can pop it off and we can do whatever we need to do back there to be able to support the side of that cabinet.
Perfect. With a few items remaining, such as installing the appliances, securing a few more panels, and installing the rest of the doors and drawers, in the next episode, we're going to walk you through this entire completely installed kitchen. Are you ready now, Doug?
There's actually a wall-mounted toilet behind here.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ,
Sorry.
Doug, it was...
You're kind of moist.
You're moist.
Tuck your f***ing cord though, bro. What is this, amateur hour? I'm gonna nick shift for this. You ready? It looks like the frame for our...
Looks like done. Come on.
James, can you walk?
Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. What did you say?
So that no moisture or water will get inside. There's no good way to say that now. It's all... Dougie's filming us, making us look like f***ing idiots over here. Is he making us look like idiots, or are we idiots?
We are idiots.